everyone, J-Rob Plays here, and today I'm going to be going over Destiny Rising content throughout the day. And of course, if anybody interested, go ahead and hop in the comments and let me know how your experience is. So far, so good. I'm playing with an emulator that is actually sponsored by NetEase, who actually is the developer behind Destiny Rising. So it's actually very compatible, and I'll be making a guide on how to set it up so that you can play on PC if you're trying to play on PC, on a laptop, anything that's got a little bit better graphics than what a phone would have or a tablet would have, and the game itself would see you as a tablet, so that way you can have that higher resolution. Now, if you were like me and sitting in queue waiting to actually have the game launch, you were there prior to launch time, you'd have noticed in the top right hand corner there's a little mini game that you click on here called Go Ghost Go, and it's a really cute mini game in the style of Flappy Bird. And the reason why you want to play this whenever you get a little bit of time, or if you're also waiting for it to download and it allows you to play it while you're waiting for it to download, is that there's in-game rewards. So it says here you can actually accumulate score of 5,000, 10,000, and 15,000. And I thought that you had to do that score in the game, so you had to like try hard and try to get all the way through, really far in the game. But however, it just tracks your runs. So like, say I got a 2,000 point run and then a 3,000 point run. Well, all of a sudden now I have a 5,000 point run, or as far as 5,000 cumulative, and I can open up the chests. And so the rewards are actually quite worth it, and I'll go over here what the rewards are and then kind of how the game actually works. So from here, once you actually get into the game and you can actually access your in-game mail, you're going to go through your initial quests, and when you get into Haven, you can go into your Ghost and access your in-game mail, and you'll see that you have a few things ready for you. If you pre-registered, you're going to have these items ready for you here that you'll see as I'm kind of scrolling through my recording of it. So you're going to start by getting 20 of the currency here that you see in front of you, and you're also going to be getting an emblem called the Iced Vein Ally emblem, which is really cool. And so there's the Lumina Leaf. This is going to be the currency that you're going to be getting throughout the game, and that's going to be a lot of the pre-order stuff is going to start coming with the Lumina Leaves that you're going to use to spin on your characters. And as you see there, I got 5,000 Glimmer for a subsequent reward and another 5,000 Glimmer. So those are the three rewards in the order. It starts out with the 5,000 Glimmer, you get another 5,000, and then you actually get your emblem that you can have as a unique emblem in the game, and then you get your Lumina, which is important because these are going to stack up so that you can spin them on your characters as you go. Also, don't forget that if you go into your mail and you actually go into your download section, there'll be a little indicator. You can claim more Lumina while you're doing that as well. That's just going to be from downloading all the content. You'll get a Lumina boost there, and this is where your mail is located too when you bring up your Ghost, whatever that keybind is for you on whatever platform you're playing on. Okay, so back to the game itself. You're just going to tap to start, whatever you, again, with your platform is, whether it's controller and hitting the A button. In my case, I'm using the emulator, so it's just going to be the left click of the mouse. It's a very simple control. One click will jump once. You can double jump with the second click. When you do so, you actually also get bonus score times. You'll see that as I get like a bonus danger score as I get over enemies, the emergency maneuver, so that's a way to kind of pump up your score. Collecting these little lights here will also get you plus 50 to your score, although sometimes you have to be careful when you collect these lights because they'll be in a position that'll put you in a situation where you can't actually jump a second or third time. And so when you increase difficulty like this, as you can see here, I'm running through things, I'm going to be busting fences and things, you end up getting in a self where you have to do your emergency maneuver, which is a third click, so 1, 2, 3, and that's kind of a dash down. Now if you time it perfectly, you can smash a fence with your emergency maneuver, but if you don't time it right, then you'll end up ending your run. So if you're trying to get far enough, just be really careful using your emergency dash, because it's going to end up running into like one of these little tall pylons that I just jumped over, and if it does that and you're doing emergency dash, it'll kill you. If you hit the fence the wrong way, the same thing, it can end your run. And when you're in this form, you're pretty much invulnerable to everything except for these larger items. And as you see there, I should have done an emergency, dash, and I would have popped that fence. But there's been times where I've done it, and it actually pops right in front of the fence. And so again, it's really hit and miss when you're doing the emergency little dash afterwards. And I'll show you what that looks like here. I'll try to actually knock a fence out here. And you see how if you time it just a half second early, it'll actually end up ending your run. So you don't want to use that frivolously, but if you can get it just right, you get those extra points too. And so you want to try to make sure that you're using up as much of your ability to burst through these as you can without kind of falling for the little traps that you see there that'll actually get you to where you get the light, but you hit the enemy. And so those are kind of my tips. As you can see, my high score is 3428. I got pretty far in. And again, once I'm going back and I'm trying to accumulate scores, just adding the score together. So let's say I got a 3400 and then a 400, I'd be a 3800 score, for the chest, like I mentioned in the first place. You can go through a tutorial as well. It'll show you all the maneuvers, and then you can actually look at the leaderboard and see where you are on the leaderboard. In this case, it's funny that when I first looked at the leaderboard, I said, "Oh my God, somebody's cheating, right? Like somebody's already on here is cheating," but it's actually not a real leaderboard. They're actually being cheeky. This is Rasputin, and Rasputin is perfect, so this is why Rasputin has these crazy numbers. Then you got Felwinter, which is theoretically Rasputin. It's his golem, and then you have Osiris, wombing the Drifter. Officious, a new character. You got Cade, Nifang, Tolan, Weirzev, which is the ghost, and Pulled Pork is the ghost of Oldrinsov, or as we know him now as Crow. And so these are just kind of a silly leaderboard. It's not a real leaderboard. Obviously, you can get higher in the ranks, but there's no other players or anybody that's going to take over your particular score. So you're just playing against the made-up scores, and of course, you'll never beat the AI Rasputin. So other than that, that's pretty much the full coverage for this little mini game. From here, I did the mini game first. I got my rewards unlocked, and then I went and I did the tutorial and started actually playing the game. And as you can see, I'm also playing the game in 120 frames, so it's going to be really high quality. Is that way you can see what it would look like on a computer or a laptop or something that can run it a little bit better. In my case, I'm using a high-end computer with a high-end graphics card, so I can run it at 120. You may not be able to run this simulator at 120. You may want to run it closer to 60, and I'll go over that more in some of the settings depending on what your hardware is. But if you do have a higher end system, 120 has been working fine for me. There's been very little hitches and stutters, and I think it's more toward the fact that it's a mobile game than it's actually having that problem with the emulator. So if you're not necessarily playing Destiny 2 right now and you're actually playing just Destiny Rising, and this is the first time you're seeing my channel, welcome. I do Destiny 2 guides and I do Destiny 2 content in general, just kind of helpful information and strategies. And I'll be doing the same thing for Destiny Rising as long as I hold interest in it and I have time for it. Destiny 2 is still my main game, but I'll definitely be working on Destiny Rising in the slower weeks, because there is slower weeks in this season, the way they have the seasonal content for Destiny 2. So I hope to see you guys in both videos, both my Destiny 2 community and anybody new in Destiny Rising who's looking for that new information. Thanks very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.